This cat lost his eyesight, but he met one woman and this happened. A woman found a cat in so much pain that the animal was screaming. The cat was suffering from such a severe eye infection that he couldn't even open his eyes. He was nearly blind at this point, but the help of this friendly human changed his life forever. Elaine Siemens is the founder and worker for Eyesight Foundation in Toluca Lake, California. This woman is a cat savior, and one day she began hearing the screams of a cat in pain. The worker and activist decided to look into the situation and found something even more troubling than what she originally thought it could be. To her surprise, Elaine found a cat who was so infected that he couldn't even open his eyes. The pet activist and helper decided that she had to take the situation into her own hands and picked up the dirty cat. To her amazement, the cat responded with love. You won't believe the change that happened next in this sweet kitty's life. Even if this cat was a random case, cats are often overlooked in many different areas of the United States and the rest of the world. Cats have a history of being associated with superstitions, such as the fact that they supposedly lead to bad luck. And even in some countries like South Africa, people kill cats under the belief that they are transformed witches. In cities which have low economies, cats are difficult to control and often reproduce to the point where there are many cats without help roaming the streets. The cat which was discovered by Elaine was one of the many cats in the world who have been left for dead, simply because there is no one to look after them. Not all cats are seen as witches or evil spirits, but dark cats specifically are thought to be bad luck. You've heard the overused phrases which suggest that seeing a black cat on Halloween or Friday the 13th can cause you bad luck. But these superstitions affect the lives of many darker furred cats. The least likely animal to become adopted is a black cat. This problem is so awful that many adoption agencies discount the cats by up to half on special shopping days, like Black Friday. There's absolutely nothing different from a lighter furred cat and a black cat when it comes to health. They simply have darker fur. The person who found the cat, Elaine Siemens, was no stranger to helping out endangered and dying animals. Siemens is the founder of the Eyesight Foundation, which devotes its time to helping dogs who are unadoptable receive proper medical care. At shelters, many of the dogs who are not being adopted are there due to severe medical conditions. These dogs who do not find their forever homes or owners willing to pay for their extremely high medical bills are usually put down. This organization dedicates its time to finding homes for dying or terminally ill dogs, so that every dog has a chance at happiness. Siemens continued this mission by saving this desperate cat. Adopting or buying an animal for yourself or for your family is one of the most enriching things you can do. But, like this cat, many animals are abandoned throughout their life when they become boring or hard work. Animals with diseases are also most likely to be abandoned without any way of helping themselves. In the United States today, around 3.9 million dogs and 3.4 million cats are currently considered to be stray animals. These dogs and cats are also more likely to become violent and feral, which lessens their chances of ever being loved or adopted. If you want a pet, you should make plans to take care of it throughout its life. The cat Siemens found crying and screaming is now known as Valentino the cat. Valentino was so neglected at the Baldwin Park Animal Center that he had developed a serious infection in his eyes. There was no trace of medicine or visible treatment done to Valentino, meaning that he wasn't being treated for the infection at all. The severe neglect took a toll on the cat's emotions as well, leaving him depressed and without the ability to purr. Immediately after seeing the cat, Siemens took him out of his cage and let him rest on her shoulder. The cat didn't move an inch and seemed to enjoy being hugged. The illness and eye infection Valentino was suffering from is incredibly serious and doesn't just come out of nowhere. This infection persists over time but can be cured early on. This just shows that Valentino was so neglected over the years. The infection is called sarcoptic mange, which is an infection from a parasite called Scarpotes. The infection is spread through animals, meaning that Valentino probably received the infection from another animal in the pound or on the street. The infection should never be left unattended because even though Valentino was by himself in a small cage, he could have infected all of the dogs in the shelter. Animals can suffer from many different diseases, but the worst thing an animal can suffer from is depression and neglect. Neglecting a dog or a cat has terrible effects on their mental health. Isolating a dog or cat by leaving them outside or putting them in a cage increases their fight or flight responses. This increase in the brain makes dogs and cats more likely to not trust humans and to become violent. This is the main reason why shelters are filled with angry animals. The main reason why Valentino was so sick and why he was screaming so loud was a mixture of the pain of the infection, but also due to his depression. Siemens' hug definitely helped Valentino's spirits and happiness. After finding Valentino, Siemens decided that she couldn't cure the animal through her own organization, and she called out to a friend for help. To help with the horrid infection in Valentino's eyes, Siemens decided to call Leave No Paws Behind. Leave No Paws Behind is an organization that fosters all breeds of animals, no matter what age, breed, or medical condition. Leave No Paws Behind is also responsible for covering medical bills for animals while they're still in foster care, meaning that even without a forever home, these animals won't die alone. The foundation decided to take Valentino under their wing by treating him for his mange. The other issue which Valentino was suffering from is an often overlooked condition for pets who are in shelters, in pounds, or living on the street. Since Valentino was in a shelter with many dogs and was neglected, he wasn't receiving the proper care he needed. Valentino was suffering severe malnutrition when Siemens found him and was not eating enough food to maintain a healthy weight. Malnutrition is often hard to see in cats because even though the animal weighs enough, it doesn't have enough nutrients to survive. Valentino was lacking in essential vitamins to maintain a healthy weight and have good brain function. During adoption, it's best to keep an open mind and an open heart to ensure that you are not leaving any deserving animal behind. Many people today are too worried about the purity of their doggy or whether or not their cat will look good on Instagram. But in the end, all dogs and cats are capable of companionship and all animals simply want love. The reason why Valentino was overlooked for so many years was due to an infection, which antibiotics and some TLC can fix. If you're planning on adopting any kind of animal, pick a companion not just for looks, but for love. The main reason Elaine Siemens was able to find Valentino in the shelter and how she knew he was suffering from an infection was because he was screaming. A cat's purr can tell you whether or not they are in good health. If a cat is purring at a low vibration and with consistency, the cat is happy and content. Cats who are adopted, known as house pets, are of the purring family and will not make loud roars like a lion. If a cat roars or screams like Valentino, it means they are not only in a severe amount of pain, but they are also scared for their life. Cats also tend to make noise when they are hungry or in search for food. Valentino's loud calls could have been a sign that he was hungry. After Valentino was treated for his infection, using a combination of vaccines and antibiotics, his eyesight became stronger and doctors no longer feared that he would end up blind. Valentino was under the care of some very loving people, even though these people are only going to be in his life for a little while. Today, Valentino is eating better, but he is in need of a forever home. Valentino is currently up for adoption, meaning that anyone reading this article could adopt this precious and beautiful cat. Valentino is no longer in severe pain and is living his life to the fullest without infection. There is a definite difference between cats and dogs when it comes to representation. Oftentimes, stray dogs are discussed in the media, but cats are not. Cats are often considered to be dirty and cruel when dogs are seen as the lovable companion. Today, throughout the world, there are considered to be upwards of 75 million stray cats without care, food, or love. These cats are not only dangerous to themselves, but also to humans. Different strains of infected cat viruses can cause people to lose their memory or can even create mental health issues like depression and schizophrenia. Cats should be taken care of and should not be left to live in the streets. The general public and pet owners can make some changes to help prevent cases like Valentino. The first step is to never adopt a puppy or an animal if you don't live in a house that can contain them. This is especially important for people who live in condos or apartments. If the dog can't run around, or if you fear the dog is going to break your things, it's better off staying at the shelter. Another way of helping these animals is to donate. Elaine Siemens' foundation at CHU is always accepting donations to be able to afford medication for animals like Valentino. When it comes to donating or adopting, a little goes a long way. During Christmas time or a child's birthday, many parents believe that their children would be happy with a new pet. This is most likely not the case if the child who is receiving the animal is less than 18 years old. Children are more likely to not understand the needs of an animal and will soon get bored without help from the parents. Parents should never surprise their child with a pet if they don't want to nurture and take care of the pet themselves. More than half of animals who are adopted as gifts are sent back to the shelters they came from within a year. Don't hurt an innocent animal if your children are not ready for that type of commitment. People sometimes think that being a pet parent, even to a loving cat or dog, is going to be easy. The issue with this thought is that even though loving your animal will be easy, much of the time it is not smooth sailing. If you are not going to be able to take care of your pet if they get sick, terminally ill, or if they are just too high maintenance, adopting an animal is not the right decision for you. Adopting a dog or cat without being realistic will only waste your money, time, and will mentally and physically confuse the animal. When you're inviting and taking a dog into your home, it's best to understand that they are becoming a part of your family. Dogs and cats are not accessories, but real living creatures. Animals and pets do not have to remain in countryside homes, but if you live in a city, you should take proper care of your animal. Dogs are very active animals and like to run around large fields and parks. Cats, on the other hand, are more comfortable lounging the day away while getting fed and pet. While making the decision to adopt any animal, it's always a great idea to think about not only which animal you want, but which animal would suit your home best. If you live in a small cramped apartment, it doesn't make sense to adopt a dog who won't be comfortable and who will ruin all of your furniture. Big city apartments are ideal places for cats because even if the apartment is relatively small, cats will enjoy just lying around. Valentino was abandoned for a variety of reasons, but one of those reasons could have been because his mother had too many kittens. Overpopulation of cats is an issue in low-income areas like parts of Athens in Greece. Cats continue to reproduce in the streets even though there isn't enough food or care to make sure they are healthy. These newborn cats grow up to be mentally unstable and spread many different diseases to other animals, including humans. If you are planning on adopting a female cat, there is only one solution. Be sure to spay your females or neuter your male cats to prevent untimely babies. Even though Valentino is now healthy, he is still lacking the basic thing he needs to be happy. All a pet needs is love, and it starts by being sent to a great place to live. Adopting a pet doesn't just give them a healthy home to live in, but it also gives them a second chance to be happy. Pets who experience love, affection, and regular exercise are more likely to protect their owners. Dogs and cats who feel like they are being isolated or mistreated are more likely to become violent towards their owners and any other human. It might seem like a simple task, but the best thing you can do for an animal is just to love them.